Welcome to another episode of the Leadership Purpose with Dr. Robin podcast. I'm so glad you're here and listening into the podcast. I say it all the time and I will continue to say it. I really appreciate you for listening into the podcast. And because you've been such faithful listeners, we've been ranked in the top 5% of all podcasts globally, according to Listen Notes. So thank you. Now, let me ask you this question. Have you ever felt the pressure to have it all figured out? Like the perfect 5-year plan, the detailed roadmap, the certainty about where you're headed. But what if that pressure to know it all is exactly what's keeping you stuck? Today's episode is for you if you've been standing at a career crossroads and you're ready to find your way forward, because sometimes clarity doesn't come from planning every detail. It comes from taking one small aligned step at a time. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. So if you've been asking, what's next for me? Or wondering, how do I move forward from here? Then you're in the right place. And there's something I want to share with you later in the episode that connects perfectly to what we're talking about today. In our last episode, we talked about how feeling stuck isn't a setback, it's a signal. That restlessness you feel when success stops feeling like success. And that's what I refer to as a purpose calling. It's an inner wisdom nudging you to realign your life with who you really are. But once you start feeling that nudge, the question that follows is always the same. What do I do next? And that's what we're talking about today, because one of the biggest clarity blocks I see, and one that I lived myself, is the belief that you have to see the whole path before you can take your first step. I mean, we've all been taught to have a 5-year plan or a vision board, a clear roadmap. But the truth is, you don't need a 5-year plan. You just need to take the next right step. Now, let me tell you how I learned that lesson personally. Before I started this podcast, I spent almost 2 years thinking about it. I'd get excited about the idea, helping women find clarity and purpose through meaningful conversations. And then almost instantly, fear would step in. But I didn't recognize it as fear. I'd say to myself, oh, I need to research more, or I need to map out all the topics first, or I need to learn everything about podcasting before I begin. In other words, I convinced myself I needed the whole plan before I could start. But what that really was fear dressed up as preparation. So 2 years passed before I finally decided to just start. And when I did, I recorded the first episode with a simple microphone, my computer, and one clear intention: to encourage women to walk in alignment with their purpose. And here's what happened. The moment I took that one small step, clarity followed. I didn't need the whole plan. I just needed momentum. The first step showed me the next one. And that's how clarity works. It's not something you find by standing still. It's something that unfolds as you move. So let's talk about why this happens. Why movement creates clarity when over planning doesn't. When we're standing at a crossroads, specifically a career crossroads, we tend to believe we need to know everything before we make a move. But the truth is, clarity doesn't show up in the waiting. It shows up in the walking, so to speak. And this is what I've learned. One, clarity is built through movement. You don't think your way into clarity, you move your way into clarity. Each small aligned step gives you feedback, and then feedback points you toward what fits and what doesn't. Here's the second thing I learned. Aligned action reveals the path. So you don't need to predict the future. You just need to take the step that feels aligned with who you are right now. Each aligned action is like turning on the light in the next section of the path. And the third thing I learned is over planning is fear in disguise. Fear likes to wear professional clothes. It says things like, I'm just being strategic. But often, what we call planning is just waiting, 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 waiting to feel ready, waiting for guarantees, and waiting keeps us stuck. That's why you don't need a 5-year plan. You just need presence. You need to trust what your inner wisdom already knows. The next right step is enough to start. All right, so let's make this practical, something you can do. Take a moment and think about one area of your life or work where you've been feeling stuck. Maybe it's a decision you've been avoiding, a dream you've been putting off, or a change you keep thinking about but have not acted on. So if you have something to write down, a notebook, or you can type in, write down this statement and then fill in the blank. Here's the statement. The area where I feel most stuck right now is fill in the blank. The area where I feel most stuck right now is, and you fill in the blank. Now, naming it gives it shape, and anything you can name, you can change. After you do that, ask yourself, what's one small step I could take within the next 24 hours that would move me closer to alignment? Keep it simple, keep it small, keep it something you can do. And then whatever that step is, write it down. Because once you name it and commit to acting on it, you're no longer stuck. You're in motion. The moment you begin to move by taking action, clarity begins to emerge. Just like that. I know that from my own experience over and over again. So I know it will be true for you. Now, if you're ready to go deeper, or if you've been standing at a crossroads sensing that your next chapter is calling, but you're not sure how to move forward, I created something for you. And it's called Clarity for What's Next. It's a short, self paced audio course that helps you pause, listen, and find your next right step with confidence, clarity, and purpose. You don't need a 5-year plan. You just need a clear framework to help you see your next step, one decision at a time. So, in this guided experience, I will walk you through 6 short audio lessons that help you go from feeling stuck to confident and grounded in your next move. And you can learn more about this or actually even enroll at leadershippurposeinstitute.com/clarity. leadershippurposeinstitute.com/clarity. Or you can just click on the link in the show notes, because clarity grows through movement and your first step opens the way. Okay, that's our episode for today. And until next time, this is Dr. Robin.